been interested in solar for at least 20 years. You know, I've always kind of wanted to put this on a house, but knew that we were going to move away from whatever house we're in. So when we got here, we knew this was a more permanent house, so instantly pulled the trigger on it. It makes so much sense to me and my wife because you're always going to buy electricity. It's one of the main reasons we work. I mean, we need to buy our food and we need to buy our electricity so we can live. And this seems like an easy way to knock out the electricity portion of it. And then when I started looking into it and how far batteries have come, you know, I looked, like I said, I wanted it 20 years ago. And 20 years ago, if you wanted a battery backup, you're talking a whole wall and I mean, crazy maintenance. You know, you had to fill them with water all the time, just a lot, you know, and the price was through the roof. So now, you know, for a battery this big, we can run the whole house, you know, and so that adds this whole extra portion of an emergency situation. You know, not only are we knocking out a bill that we're gonna have the rest of our lives, you know, let's get rid of that bill, and then with the system, and then on top of it, know that if something happens, if we lose power, especially in the middle of the winter and in the middle of Michigan here, that we can still have heat for this new baby on the way, you know, and the kids now. So you combine both of those, and you know, I'm talking to my wife about it, and she's going, "Yeah, this sounds great." Well, one concern was how the battery was going to perform, you know, and Greg mentioned, you know, this is what everybody wants to know, and when you're trying to figure out how many watts or amps you're using, you know, for the house, nobody wants to fill out the load calculator, and it's a bunch of, nobody does, you know, so, but you want to know how many things can I turn on with this battery that I'm buying? And so the one big thing I was worried about was, how is it going to perform? You know, is it only going to run one appliance or something? Is it going to run that for 2 hours? You know, what am I spending my money on? And it's absolutely outperformed every thought that I had on it. It does so much better. I did the math on the load calculator and everything because I'm into all that stuff, and I thought, well, this should work, you know, but it seemed too good to be true, and it does. It works. It powers everything. So that's been one of the coolest things for me and a big relief for me because I was a little nervous about it. I found another solar company first. They came out and did an estimate, and it basically gave me a big sales pitch. And I didn't have a great experience with them. They left, and I almost had to kick them out of the house. Greg was the second company that came in, and it couldn't have been, you know, more polar opposite than that. He was great to talk to. He wasn't trying to sell me anything. He asked me a lot of questions on what I was looking for. And then, you know, took what I was looking for and found the things that I needed, like that hybrid inverter for me. You know, at one point, I think maybe the first estimate that I got back from him, I had some questions about the estimate, and I looked up prices on my own, and I had questions about the thing that he sent me, and a lot of times when you start asking questions about that and being pushy, that can be very offensive to people, but he was so nice about the whole thing. He said, "I completely understand that, and let me help you, and let me help you understand, you know, where your money's going and how this is all working." And it was his answer, his niceness through that, you know, not being standoffish in any way when I asked him those questions, that really made me consider them, you know, and go with them in the end. He couldn't be more genuine, Greg, and everybody that we dealt with that came out was really nice. It seemed extremely interested in you know, what I wanted and cared about getting it done right. I had them change a few things. They had no problem, you know, no complaints, no anything. I mean, they were really nice to work with. If you'd like to become energy independent, I'd highly recommend Agathon Solar.